Ice cream potatoes. Ice cream potatoes. All right.
You done potato chips on ice cream?
Yes.
You like that?
That shit is amazing.
Chocolate too?
Yep.
Just like a whole sundae plus
Barbecue chips, though.
barbecue chips. You are a gross motherfucker, dude.
That's fucking gross. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the type of shit that, like, when you eat it, you're kind of second guessing every bite. You're like, it's vanilla ice cream and barbecue. What am I doing with myself right now?
What? Does that shit taste good though? It might taste good.
I mean, did you swallow?
I don't know. I never swallow.
You do it like coffee tastings or whatever, where it's like you just take it in, swish it around, spit it out. You're like a hockey player on the bench with Gatorade and shit.
Let me go ahead and try this burger.
Good to me.
Oh, gross.
I will never half eat that burger again. All right. Okay. So this is 360NOPOD. This is Thinker. I'm here with Ray, who's a little sick right now, but he's hanging in.
Hey.
And we've got young Peter over here, illest of the ill. Only man who could give himself a round of applause and feel good about it. I don't need an audience. I need myself and two hands. That's the deal. All right, so so before we jump into anything, I just we're all having some of Peter's world famous margaritas right now, and they are fantastic. And I would like to do a quick toast to the New York Rangers, who just beat the fuckhead Canadians to advance to the next round of the Stanley Cup Finals. So, or the playoffs rather. But say what?
Oh man, it's going crazy right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Most stuff.
Ranger Island.
So that was
Fuck them.
Yeah, it's serious.
I'm the other Islander.
Well, and they're trying to, like, I guess, move the Islanders out of the arena that they were in or whatever.
No,
it's
just
fucking
go,
crazy.
leave.
So
fucking hockey players pulling hamstrings. What the fuck is going on?
yeah, off of that ice that's not like actually ice. it's like they're skating in
Go
puddles
to Queens,
and shit.
Go anywhere.
Right.
Just get the fuck out. From Brooklyn, but still, just get the fuck out.
So yeah, there's that, and then the other thing that I wanted to say before we jump deep in is R.I.P. to Charlie Murphy. Huge fucking loss, serious right there. That actually
It's
really,
like,
I guess he was a very private guy, but that actually caught me really off guard.
Yeah, you just never know, man. It's
he just kept it on the rep. Like last I seen of him, I mean, he tweeted like a day before he died or whatever. He looked fine. You know what I mean?
It's like if you see Charlie Murphy right away, is attention grabbing. It's like, oh shit, it's Charlie Murphy. Rare. Raiders see him. He's barely even on anything, but it was just always Raiders see him. And I was looking forward to seeing him at the Improv.
Was he scheduled?
Well, he was supposed to be coming out, for the Improv.
No, he had like a date or whatever.
I'm sure.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
It should have been
just like
this year.
sometime in the future or whatever.
It should have.
Oh no, it really was.
So
yeah, no, man. I mean,
that's just what sucks. I was like kind of looking forward to that.
Well, and like I actually had not like there were things like I obviously I knew him off of Chappelle's. Don't give the mic to this. If he looks like that, keep the mic to yourself. All right.
Yeah.
This dude had his head in his chest. oh yeah, okay. Blaming the drink, it's fine. It's okay. Either way, just
sour.
You're gonna fucking pop the capsule in the microphone with all that.
But good way to start that out, man, with Charlie Murphy.
No,
I actually had that in my notes again, which is spooky.
There you go, mind meld, of course.
Which
but
is
no,
wild.
But that was what I was gonna say was that like after he passed away, like I had seen a bunch of like videos about him and stuff, and like there was so much more to his life.
So much
like,
going on. With Charlie Murphy, of course, so much in his life, like you said.
Yeah,
after he dies, I'm sure there's like so much you're gonna see of him.
Right, he's gonna definitely be one of those people that after the fact, a lot more
and
stuff.
We're gonna be like, God
kind of stuff.
Damn it, why is he gone even more?
Yeah, absolutely. But like that's the thing. Like I had seen like even just today, like I watched a video of Chappelle. He was at a John Mayer concert. John Mayer was on the first season of Chappelle's Show, if you remember.
Absolutely.
And so him and John Mayer have still been friends for a long time, and like they did like a tribute to Charlie Murphy at the show, and then like days earlier, I saw like a bunch of stuff about his life that I didn't know about him. I mean, obviously Eddie Murphy's brother, but like there was a lot more to his life. So yeah, it really is a big loss. So
it is, man. A lot of going on. 2017 already. Jesus Christ! Happy Easter.
Oh yeah, Easter.
It is springtime.
I had a thing about Easter though. I wanted to say
same thing. Summer around the corner.
Well, yeah, it's Florida. We're already
Think about Easter.
So okay, but my thing about Easter. So I have a friend who's a server at a steakhouse.
God be with him.
So
God be with him.
No, well, her, but she's a server at a steakhouse, and she was working on Easter, and she was like,
God bless her soul.
yeah, but she was like, no, not even. That was my point. She's like, oh, it wasn't even as busy as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, the only people that care about Easter are like actual Christians and people with children. Like the rest, who gives a fuck about Easter? You don't give a fuck about Easter. Like, if you don't care about the Easter Bunny or the resurrection, you don't give a fuck.
And if you're not in Coney Island, then you don't give a fuck.
Who?
Coney Island.
Oh, Coney Island. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, and like I guess
tradition, bro. You know,
sure, yeah. I mean, well,
go to church in the morning,
and at the White House, I'm sure they do the Easter egg hunt. Melania Trump putting like little $5 bills inside the Easter eggs. Yeah, please like us.
We're gonna hide the shit out of them.
Yeah. That's the truth too. If there's money inside, but you really got to work to find it. It's like this country right now.
Let's not even get started. But go ahead.
So yeah, no. Anyway, no. That's what's up though. But
so yeah, like I said, man, it's spring, summer's around the corner.
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy's gone. Aaron Hernandez is hanging himself in jail.
What the fuck about that though? Well, I mean, and shouts to Philip DeFranco as always, one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. But like, if you don't know like the inside parts of all that stuff with the whole the Massachusetts law that might give the money back to the family and all the appeal stuff, he did this really good breakdown of all that shit, and it was just like,
I saw that.
The story is even crazier than That's just that's definitely
it's
a crazy
movie,
story.
Man.
Yeah. And I mean, and what he said though, and what I'm curious about, and this is definitely can change shit because people get fucking wrongly accused all the time. He was saying that because of the acquittal on the double murder charge, that might have brought into question his original murder charge. And I was like, well, because when I first heard it, I was like, yeah, it sucks that he killed himself, but he also fucking murdered somebody, so kind of fuck you. But at the same time, but then if there's question about that, then that throws the whole thing into a different category, because if he was a wrongly accused person, then that's completely different to me. And I think I feel for people wrongly accused in prison more than almost anybody in this fucking planet. That must be the worst shit ever, to be locked up for fucking your life for some shit that you ain't even have no part of. You know what I mean?
Right,
that's hard shit. So so anyway, so my point was that like if that had changed the shit, that would have been even fucking crazier. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that. But you want to know what, Pete? You want to know what the real fucking deal is with shit like that? 2 weeks from now, gone, bro. You're not even no one's gonna be fucking talking about it. And even if they find the truth, it's gonna be lost to the sands of times.
Isn't
in
life
2
crazy?
weeks. 2 fucking weeks. Mark my words. That shit
until we hit a year anniversary. That is.
I mean, maybe for a football player. I mean, I'm not even trying to take away from football players. I'm just saying, like I don't even think that under those circumstances, unless some major shit comes out, I don't even think it'll be like an in memoriam.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
so they make the movie.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And I actually heard that they're doing like a TV miniseries already, bro.
America.
How fucking quick? That's a good point too, though. How fucking quick are they to turn around things like that into TV shows and media already?
Just like the internet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the internet's just people doing that shit. I'm talking about fucking like bigger Hollywood shit. These
Hollywood's been
motherfuckers
doing it before the internet.
Yeah, but I'm talking about how it's so quick now, though, because like I thought it was even crazy after 9/11 how quick that they made 9/11 movies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they made like 3 of them, and like within like maybe 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. Yeah. I mean, less than a decade. I would.
Firefighter movie, fucking cop movie, 9/11 movie.
Yeah, the fucking Boston Bomber movies. I mean, like shit that just stuff that's like in the news one day, and now it's a movie. People used to think that Law and Order was crazy with that shit. Back when Law and Order was turning over, ripped from the headline stuff. Now this shit's doing major fucking Hollywood movies and shit. This is fucking nuts how quick they fucking like pump out the tragedy right into the theater, bro. And then they want to say, oh no, it's to honor the victims. No, it's to honor your fucking pockets, motherfucker. who the fuck you trying to fucking lie to?
Yep,
honor the victims, my dick. Oh no, but we get the families involved too. Cool. That's the only thing that makes me happy, because at least hopefully they'll get some fucking money out of this shit.
Yeah.
Instead of all y'all motherfuckers just being fucking tragedy merchants, Yeah, no, they're fucking bullshitters, bro. Okay, so anyway, off of all that shit.
What are we? What is it? April? Man, we got all we talking about, and it's just only been April. Shit we talking about already, and it's only in April.
Oh yeah, no, man. I mean,
R.I.P. to Carmelo and Lala's marriage, by the way.
Oh, that's something that you feel strongly about.
No, since we're saying R.I.P.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to at least before we can keep talking about all this other stuff, but I wanted to address this issue that I had with this YouTube person that I am a fan of. We talked about it a little bit earlier. This was a Twitter exchange that I got into with Pat Contri, a.k.a. Pat the NES Punk. Now, I know that you, Pete and Ray have lives and don't spend all of yours on YouTube watching videos. You know, you go out and play basketball, and and you actually like live, as opposed to just staying in front of a computer screen all day long, watching people play video games and listening to them talk about video games. I'm not that way. that is basically my life is doing that. Yeah. So Pat is a YouTube. He's like an actor, content creator. You know what I mean? He does. What I got into his videos for was because he did a show called Pat the NES Punk, which he still does, which is like comedic reviews of video games.
Pretty good idea.
And yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he was an earlier one to do that kind of stuff, and they were dope. And for a little while, they had like continuity between the episodes. They were well made. The writing was really good. All good. Big fan of his stuff, right? So, in addition to that, he does a podcast called the CU Podcast, completely unnecessary podcast. He does it with his friend Ian. Great podcast. Fucking love it. They talk about video games and YouTube issues. They talk about wrestling occasionally, just stuff that they like. Dope. No problem whatsoever, right?
Nice.
Okay. So let's fast forward a little bit to, I guess maybe less than a week ago. This was okay. So maybe like 5 days ago now. Pat came. Okay, let's actually rewind just a little bit more than that. Pat does the CU podcast, and his co-host Ian had been sick for a while, so for a little while he was doing it on his own. He did a long, kind of in-depth analysis of the end of the the NES Classic. Ray knew what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? The NES Classic, that little thing with the small NES that they came out with.
Yeah, with all the games on it. Yeah.
Yeah, with the loaded up.
A couple. Yeah. It's like $350 right now.
That was his whole point. Is that because they're now discontinuing the line, the value.
I wish I would have grabbed one. It was like $60.
Bro, well, you couldn't get one when they were $60. That's again, Pat did completely perfect analysis of all of this stuff, right? And his long analysis that he did, it's like 25 minutes that he talked about the whole lifespan of it and how messed up it was that Nintendo is discontinuing it. That's why it's $350 right now, because Nintendo's stopping production in next month or some shit. Like, ridiculous.
Love doing that.
Bro, I mean, that was his point, is how fucking stupid a decision that shit was, right? Yeah. All perfect, right? Then, this is where the issues start to come in, is that then Pat comes out with a quote-unquote Pat the NES Punk video, which was like 4 minutes long, 3 minutes long, something like that, where he basically just picks out pieces of what he talked about on the podcast and then tosses it into a Pat the NES Punk video, which is supposed to be like, or at least was. I'm not saying what it's supposed to be, but at least what it had been was a little bit more in depth. It was a little bit more comedically driven, a little bit better like scripting and stuff the scripting was more central to it.
Step up.
Exactly. Well, it was a different type of content. He did 25 minutes on this subject and then goes and throws the Pat the NES Punk label onto a video that's just a 4-minute clip of a couple of things kind
of the same thing he was talking about.
Pretty much. A little smidgen of the stuff that made the NES Punk videos like what they were. A couple of the characters that he uses were in there a very little bit. But it was, as I said to him on Twitter, and that's what we can get into, I said, you phoned it in. I said, Pat, that was a phone-in episode. And I said, keep phoning it in, Pat. I love when channels get big off a type of content, then abandon that when the audience is big enough. And again, I do want to take the opportunity to say I'm an abrasive person. We know this. I yell. I can get angry. I can be confrontational from time to time.
Not that it's like, Matt, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, yeah, if I'm too nice, you got to be like, what, you trying to fucking steal from me, or will? I'm gonna get a knife in my back if this dude's smiling in my face.
What the fuck's going on, Thinker?
Nah, man. But so I can come off a little bit abrasive in Twitter. You can't really like gauge the emotion in the words or whatever. So I could understand that coming off a little bit harsh. But my point was that when the type of content that you did there, like that was my opinion of it. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm trying to shit on you, but that was a phone-in to me. And I definitely think that if you look at the channel, the amount of CU podcast videos that come out is like 4 times the Pat the NES Punk videos now. Again, it's not a problem to me. I like the CU podcast. However, you started off, and what got me into your channel was the Pat the NES Punk videos. So to me, having 4 times the amount of that content that started me out as a fan, and then for you to come in with this episode that was a complete phone-in, that's what made me want to say something.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you're following the logic, all right?
It doesn't sound like you're just completely hating.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, thank you, Pete, because that was my point. That I wanted to at least stress that. Like, I don't just early. I'm not dry hating on anybody early. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just out there to fucking shit on you for no reason. Especially if I'm a fan of yours. Yeah. If I don't like you, then motherfucker,
just take it.
Well, I mean, or at least understand where it's coming from. But okay, so let's
understand it, respect it, and move on.
Right. So okay, so this is what he said back to it. He says, quote unquote, get big. Do you know how many views per NES Punk videos I used to have 5 years ago? Hint, it was under 20,000 per video. 20,000 per video, that's decent numbers when you're compared to a channel like mine who has zero fucking, cred whatsoever. But still small compared to a major channel.
Yeah.
And
still ain't shit.
Right. And so okay, fair. That's a fair point. That does not negate the fact that was what was the core of the channel. And I'm not saying, don't do the other type of content, but that does not address my core point. You phoned in the video that you did with that label on it. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I understand that he took it as if I was hating on the CU podcast. That wasn't what it was. So you phoned it in, and now all your other stuff, like if you're gonna have 4 times the CU podcast stuff on there, and then phone in the rest of the NES Punk videos, that's unacceptable in my opinion, as someone who likes that type of content. So let's move on a little bit. And so I said, so in response to the NES Punk videos, I said, and that's what makes you popular in the first place. Never question your work ethic, but respect why people subscribe to you. And so hold on. Oh, okay. It's actually, give me a second here, because it only, like, it kept saying my responses, but I need to see what he said after that.
Unless he deleted it.
No, he deleted it. No, it's on there. So again, he keeps going in on as if I'm attacking the podcast. He said, before the podcast, I had about 75,000 subscribers in 5+ years. Now it's over 220,000. And so that's when he said, like, get big and quote unquote. I'm like, bro, you've got a fucking check mark next to your name on fucking YouTube. You have a silver play button. You're a big channel in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, like, don't try to play like the I'm still a small fucking small fry in the game type of shit to me. Yeah, you might not have fucking PewDiePie numbers, but you got a good amount, and you're living off of it. You're eating off of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? This motherfucker lives in a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That speaks to me. But so podcast grew the channel. Oh, and this was what bothered me too. He says, podcast grew the channel, but please explain my business to me. What did I say to try to tell you how to work your business? You understand what I'm saying? I never said. All I said, you phoned in the episode, bro. I'm not trying to tell you how to fucking do your tax returns, how to file your expense reports, motherfucker. I'm making a comment on a video.
Yeah, man. And just take it and move on.
It's exactly what I said. I said, you have a serious problem with criticism from people who are legitimate fans.
Yeah.
I said, but haters gonna hate, dumbbell. And then he came back and was like, legitimate fan dumbbell. And I was and that to me is, like, I think pretty much where it ended. Hold on, I don't know if I said anything after that, but like that to me, that's what. Oh, there you go. And I said, okay, I said, just responding to how you're acting. Again, a great content creator who can't see outside of his bubble. Can't wait for the next 5 million CU podcast videos. And I said, this is where it did end. This is where it did end, though. I said, for the record, Pat the NES Punk videos are some of my favorite content on YouTube that doesn't exempt you from being an ass.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Real
So
shit.
anyway, so I just wanted to get the full thing out, because then his people came at me, like a couple of his fans, and they were like, quit being a little bitch, quit whining. And then one guy was like, I like the CU podcast, material or whatever. I'm here to put on the record, I like the CU podcast too. I like the Pat the NES Punk videos too.
You respect good material.
I like good material, and Pat's a good creator. But that does not exempt you from being an ass, as
criticism.
I said.
Take it, motherfucker.
I mean, just be cool, man. Like don't make me out to be like because it's like this all or nothing mentality. You know what I mean? In a way, which we'll segue into here in a segment or a second. But when we talk about when you're on one side of the political aisle and somebody criticizes one belief that you have, and then it's a complete personal attack against your entire being. No, Pat, I'm not attacking you as a human being or a creator, bro. You phoned in one video, and I was commenting on that shit. You take it for what it is. Don't try to chest up like it's a problem. Just be cool, bro.
The problem is that people get offended very quickly on anything.
True.
In our society right now as a whole.
Hair trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say I say, you know what? I think people should be able to have abortions. Someone's gonna come in and say, "Well, fuck you! Why are you telling people this?" It's like, well, it's not your fucking body. I don't fucking know. If I get raped, I don't want to fucking live
and
with
then
that child.
then you
Like,
lose your job on the Blaze, Tommy Lahren.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. No, it's fucking stupid. It's all about, how can I blow up on this person for no reason,
or just completely sidestep the issue to make it more of an overarching thing. That was my biggest problem with it. That's really why I wanted to talk about it. Because if he had said, "I didn't phone in that fucking video, bro. Fuck you." Okay, maybe that's a little bit more of at least what I'm addressing. But when you bring it into my business and you don't like all of my content, you're not a fan, this and that stuff. It's like, bro, like that you made it. You took it from 0 to 100 real fucking quick. What the fuck was that?
People like to be angry.
Yeah,
people have to be angry.
You're
at
talking
somebody.
to the poster child for this. I'm angry all the fucking time.
I know. I'm never angry, so I see it all the time. And I'm like, okay, cool, you're angry.
Why fucking do a podcast with you? I need somebody to even me out, dude.
And it's like, why are you mad? What is the purpose? I'm affecting you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to affect you. Oh, wait, I really don't give a shit if I affected you or not.
Yeah, you take the backdoor method to like kicking a motherfucker. Like,
I do. I am a troll.
And that's how you should do it. Like it's not even trolling. You're just stealthier. Like you'll kick a dude in the ass while he's out the door. I'll punch him in the face. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. Like, and I should just do the ass kick because at least then he's like, oh, what the fuck was that? Fucking somebody kicked me in the ass. He's just angry after the rest of that, and you just walk away.
You're right. People do not understand when I'm trolling them. When I'm actually trolling the shit out of them, and then they realize it after the fact that I'm trolling the shit out of them, and then they just stay quiet.
Right.
Like, it is what it is. People are gonna get offended. People have gotten offended because of my name. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just.
What about your what? Well, which one of your 4 names and why?
Well, Ramon.
Okay, that one.
Because they're like, I can't pronounce that. It's like, okay, I don't care.
Who the fuck can't pronounce Ramon? Like they can't roll the R or what?
The R.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, come on, just say Ramon, Whitey. What the fuck's the problem?
Like, hey, it's Raymond. Are you happy? Are you joyful? I hope that pleases you, master.
You should tell them like an even harder name to pronounce and be like, okay, well,
my name is Akbar.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's got a fucking Afrikaans click in it. I eat there.
By the way, they fucking speak like that in Africa.
Bro, hey, no, but so
throwing that out there.
Yeah, no. Well, once I was on a cruise once with my family a long time ago, and we had a South African server at the table, and like for the sit down service or whatever, and he spoke fluent Afrikaans. This shit was dope as fuck, dude. He would come over. We like once we found out, we would ask him to say different things to us just so we could hear him clicking and all that shit. Dude, this shit's
fucking
dope.
Awesome, man.
Well, you must. I mean, did you hear a lot of that when you were in Africa?
Ironically, not. They speak a lot of Swahili where I was.
Swahili, okay.
So because I guess most of Central Africa is Swahili.
Right. And so which countries did you go to? You just got back from Raymond just got back from Africa like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks now.
Okay, so 3 weeks ago. And then and you went to
Kenya and Tanzania.
Kenya and Tanzania. Okay, cool.
Yes, absolutely. Kenya is dope as shit, but Tanzania is even better.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys if anybody likes the Caribbean at all,
it's got like a Caribbean vibe to it.
Super Caribbean vibe, man.
Dope.
Super green banana.
Where
trees all
on
over
the
place.
continent is that? I mean, like this is hilarious because I have like a world map as my shower curtain, and I look at it and Africa is like right in my face when I take a shit. So like I look at Africa all the time, and I don't internalize any of it. So anyway, go
I
ahead.
didn't either. But
so what part of the continent?
Central, but it's slightly. Well, actually, it's not really central, but kind of central, equator-wise.
Okay.
But it's towards the east.
So like mid east on the continent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So not really that close to South Africa then.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Not really.
And then how far is Kenya from Tanzania?
Oh, they're
just like
bordering.
They're borders. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah,
but definitely Tanzania is more like going to the Dominican Republic. I mean, I've gone to the DR plenty of times.
Yeah.
I mean, I have family over there, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I felt like I was in DR.
Well, last time we talked about it, you did say that it was similar to the DR in the sense that like it's one of those types of places that like if you go to the places that are just lovely and everything's cool and everybody's happy and everybody's everything's going great, then it's great. If you even veer off a road, it can be a huge problem.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I guess any real like ghetto,
underdeveloped kind of you're right.
It's going to be kind of like similar, but
at least these countries have those places where it's not that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not the entire country that's all
absolutely.
Just that way.
It's the majority of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's I guess that's the craziest thing because like I mean I don't know about what part of the DR did you go? Did you like stay at most of the time?
Santiago, La Vega.
Okay.
Because
we were pretty much
in
right.
Chica.
Because we were pretty much in Santo Domingo like most of the time. I would say like we went. I mean, we went out to different places to like on day trips or whatever. But like I think anytime that we were there, it was pretty much just there. And I mean, for the most part, it was just a fucking great place to be. Most beautiful women on the planet down there.
Absolutely. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like Kenya had fat asses everywhere.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I believe it.
There was fat asses everywhere.
Yeah.
Old ladies, fat ass.
Old lady, fat ass. Fucking babies, fat ass.
Faces were not. No, they're just not cute.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's preference. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it wasn't like Haiti type of black people, but it wasn't like Jamaican type. They were closer to Jamaican than they were like Haitian, for sure.
Right.
But for sure, like the whole thing was like going to DR though.
Okay, fair.
The way they dressed and everything, like the way they spoke the language was similar to like.
Did they have
Spanish.
Did they have animals like that? Like for us would be like out of the norm, like just walking around on the reg, like
cows and zebras. Yeah, zebras.
Zebras.
Are everywhere.
That's why I was zebras.
Zebras are everywhere. They're like.
Zebras like we see cows in Florida. Say what? No, they see zebras like how we see cows in Florida.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, no, they have cows everywhere, bro. They have way more cows than we do. They're fucking everywhere.
Well, they like slaughter them shits like just at the house.
They don't even kill them till like they're like.
Well, yeah, but right, but that's what I mean. Like they like raise them for whatever their needs are. But when it's time to like harvest the meat, they like fucking like they do it themselves out there with fucking machetes and shit. Like they
absolutely
not processing and shit, huh?
They're their own butchers for sure.
Yeah, their own butchers. Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, Tanzania, like the way the people would, it was just like going to DR, and I felt at home.
Word, that's cool.
Which is really weird because like I've been to Spain, I've been to Portugal, I've been to Japan, I've been all over the motherfucking map.
Uh-huh.
That felt more at home than anywhere else.
You didn't encounter any racism out there?
Not at all.
True.
But I am Hispanic. I'm not a white boy.
True.
So
yeah,
like, but I do look Arab.
We didn't
get
it. I never experienced none in DR. So I mean,
yeah, in Africa they do not like Arabs. Like Arabs are because Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Zanzibar?
Yeah, I know the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually combined. It's Tanzania is combined. Like I can't remember what exactly it was, like Tanzanite or some shit like that. I don't know.
It's like an intermediary kind
of it was
area.
like, and then there was Zanzibar.
Okay.
So what they did was they combined both names to make Tanzania. They're actually one whole country.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
So in Zanzibar, apparently there were a whole bunch of Arabs that came in and were enslaving them for years, way past the Caucasians, way past anybody else. They just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And when they would go over to these Arab countries as slaves, they would fucking castrate them. And they wouldn't even give them a chance to reproduce because you're giving them you're making them human, and they're not human. So they
what was the time frame like? I mean, what period of time was this we talking about?
I believe until like the late 18 or 19 or mid 1900s.
Jesus, man.
Like they were doing it fucking way longer than anybody else, dude.
Okay.
They were doing it crazy long.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on mid.
Yeah, right on. I know. I feel
it was way later,
yeah.
way after us, way after the US and everything. So like it was pretty bad. So they see them as a fucking as the worst people in the world. And being that I've been there, I'm not gonna deny that. Like, they're fucking angry people for no goddamn reason. And if you're willing to treat black people that way, what the fuck are you?
Well, I mean, like, it's just so crazy to me because, like, stuff like that happens there, but then you have Northern Africa with, like, you know, that has, like, the big Muslim population or whatever, you know.
No, there's a lot of Muslims there and everything.
Oh,
it's just Arab people in general.
Oh, okay, like ethnically Arab.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
gotcha.
Ethnically Arab.
Right.
Like, I mean, obviously there's Arabic people in Egypt and all that shit, but, like, they don't really
it's not like
see
what
black
happened
people.
there. I mean, like,
Yeah, like, there's not even black people there. If you realize it, it's all Arab people.
up in the
Up in the north.
yeah.
Like, I've never seen like, oh, there's a bunch of Arabs here in Middle Africa. No, because they would fucking get treated like shit. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And apparently, another thing that they didn't like was that a prince from wherever the fuck in Middle Eastern, whatever the hell, came down and just started killing animals.
Just like on safari or just
with a whole bunch of women, showing off to women all his fucking prizes. Like, this driver is telling us all this shit. Like, he's like, yeah, no, we fucking hate them. They're like horrible people.
Jeez.
Like, they don't treat us like we're human, and they definitely don't treat the animals like they're animals. They're just another thing they can kill, another prize, another trophy. So yeah, they're from like everywhere I've been, and from being in there, I don't think I like Arab people too much. I'm not saying like as like an individual,
right?
Because individually, obviously, everybody it can be awesome. You just gotta fucking talk to them. But for as a majority, fuck them. Fuck them. That's horrible. They're horrible people.
And I mean, like, you know, the unfortunate aspect of that mentality is that it takes that many and those types of incidents to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
Imagine what you think about Swedish people, just for an example. You don't think nothing about Swedish people. Why? Because Swedish people have not gotten to the point where where you need to have a formative full thought about them. You know what I mean? Like,
you're right.
You know, fuck Swedish people. Why? You're right. I have no real reason to say that.
They're super nice, actually.
No.
No, but in reality, like, I have Arab friends, they're cool as fuck. Like, I have Muslim friends, they're cool as fuck.
Well, and I mean,
I'm not saying it in a majority way at all, because I will give anybody and everybody a chance. But when an entire country is treating you like shit because you look somewhat Arab, like, I don't know, somewhere in, I don't know, Israel, like, fuck it. Like, no, you treat people like shit. And then you go to an Arab country, and they're treating each other like shit, and you like shit. So it's like, what the fuck? No wonder everybody's angry over here.
And this is what gets us to what Peter and I were both thinking about talking about today, which is, exactly, beautiful segue into, yes, everybody's angry, everybody's on edge, and nobody can fucking, keep their fucking ducks in a line to the point where we need to start beating the fuck out of each other. And at the forefront of all that is a country called North Korea. You've heard about North Korea before, I'm sure.
Kim Om-jung, whatever the fuck is it.
Keep going. No, I thought you were starting to beatbox, actually. That was it. That's what that sounded like. Yes, no, it was Kim Jong Il, right? And then that was the first one, and then this one is Kim Jong Un, the son.
What a fucking joke!
I mean, like, my thing with him that I was telling my parents last time we went out, I was like, his dad dies, and his dad did all this crazy shit back when he was alive. His dad dies, and then the son was like, you know what? I need to. Not 1-up, not 2-up. I need to 7-up this motherfucker.
Yeah.
This dude, yes, he had the little red circle logo guy with the sunglasses in the press conference. Spot the 7-up mascot.
I'm dying right now.
Literally, though, this man's fucking sinuses are flaring. You can see them through his nostrils. But yeah, no. So this kid is all out here, fucking. I mean, he killed his uncle recently. He killed the one that I thought was the most ridiculous. He killed like a pop. I guess his wife was a pop singer. I don't know if he killed his wife, but apparently she's been missing. So he might have killed his wife. But his wife is a pop singer. But what made me know that was because before I even knew that, he had killed a pop singer that was part of a girl group. She was like a like
Spice Girl.
Spice Girls. I was just gonna say like
God.
Spice. I think it was bigger than that. I think there was like 7 or 8 of them or something. It was a big group. But like she was one of that group. Apparently, I don't know if she did or she didn't or what the actual content was, but what was reported at least was she did some type of quote-unquote porno. Now, again, I don't know what type of content. I'm sure in North Korea you're not getting away with some fucking hardcore crazy shit. You know,
Word.
She might have done topless. I don't know what it actually was, but for whatever the fuck reason, this was enough to kill this bitch.
Yeah.
So
he's like, oh, she's got to go.
She got to go.
She's got to go.
Killed his fucking uncle, killed this person, that person, this and that, doing all kinds of crazy shit. You know, and then now he's and like his dad was already flexing on bombs, you know, all kinds of crazy shit, doing the whole military bullshit or whatever. And now he's, like I said, 7 up in this motherfucker. You know, he's going in crazier, and now everybody's scrambling all these fucking warships and shit.
Yeah, practicing missiles like if it's fucking basketball practice.
Serious, and that was what happened is when we hacked their system. Yeah, that was the whole rumor was that the U.S. hacked their command center system. That's why the one that they launched didn't go. That, you know what warboat did that?
What's that?
The SS Matumbo. They wagged the finger. They wagged the finger at him.
No missile here.
Exactly. It was the Matumbo, bro. They fucking said no. So this dude is out here fucking, you know, putting it down, like all this fucking rhetoric. I literally on the way over here, bro, this is not even a lie. I heard on the way over here, he just now threatened Australia because Australia's, you know, an ally of the U.S. and pretty much always has been, you know. He threatened Australia over them being our ally. And I was like, bro.
What is it? Okay, he's the bully that everyone was scared of in elementary school?
I mean, like, I'd say he was like the short kid that had like crutches or something that could hit you with them. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like,
what a son of a bitch.
I mean, like, because he's like nothing. Like, that's why he knows he can't go toe to toe. You know what I mean? Like the armies are.
He still looks like an elementary school bully when you know when you look at him, it's like this fat fucking bully.
Overcompensating. You know what I mean?
God.
He'd be out there trying to hustle you, like you know, fucking put arms on you so that to make himself feel better because he's nothing. Yeah, you know. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, nothing or not, motherfuckers got nuclear weapons. So how you feel about that? Yeah. You know what I mean? How we supposed to feel about that? Because as much as he's a little punk, and that's the funniest thing about it is that everybody in the world really thinks the same about him. You know what I mean? And about the country in general. I mean, like I seen documentaries about North Korea, how they like operate internally. Like it's like different. It's like what you see in the movies. It's like different than any other type of like leadership you've ever seen outside of the movies. They got national television that's all propaganda, just all comes straight from the top. Wow. You know, just the stuff that they tell them on television. All the newspapers are that way. The city looks presentable enough so that if they let a foreign reporter come in, they can show you all these decent looking things.
It's a robot country.
Yeah, it's on autopilot, like straight from the command center. Everything gets fed down through the pipeline. You just have to fucking take it.
Jesus.
Yeah, no. So I mean, like, but then if you get outside of the city, shit's the worst in the world. I mean, people are starving all over the country, like the whole rest of the country, except for the capital, Pyongyang. Yeah. Outside of that shit, they're dying everywhere, out in the fields, dying. So you know what I'm saying? So all that being said, you know, how do you still have to consider that power, whatever that power may be. Because they do have, whether they have the military muscle or not, they still have the nuclear weapons. Yeah. How do you consider that? You know, if you're the United States, if you're the UN, if you're whoever, you know what I mean? Like, what's the proper way to respond? Because we just ended up with all of this now. You know, the ships going on over there, and all this rhetoric is getting pumped up, and now China's, you know, apparently starting to sort of side with us, but who really knows? You know what I mean? It's. Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, you know...
Sneak attack, maybe?
Who the fuck knows? This is my thing. You know, like, what's the proper...
Everything's fliggity.
Yeah, super, bro. Super flimsy, like a motherfucker right now. So that's the thing. I don't know what the right way to even respond to any of this stuff is. Like, you know, do you just let them... Because I've always maintained that even since Daddy Kim was in power, all of the military... demonstrations that they do is for show, but if push came to shove, they they really don't got shit. I really don't believe that they got any kind of power that could really put us into serious jeopardy, even with nukes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that being said, you know, like, do you just wait for them to really stop talking and start walking? You know what I mean? Like, do you really fucking wait for them to start putting boots on the ground? Or, like, how do you know, what's the right play?
Yeah, well, I feel like it's like a push of a button, and they just waiting to see who's gonna push it first.
Yeah.
You know, they're taunting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking sport, like you said. It's a team sport,
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just like.
But that's the point then. So if that's the way that it is, like, do you push first or do you wait for them to push first?
You know what? You got to be on alert. You got to be on alert, and then usually the U.S. doesn't push first. You know, we usually wait, right?
Well, I mean, I guess that's up for debate, you know, with the places like Iraq and, you know, and Afghanistan and a lot of other things that we, you know, quite clearly pushed first on.
Yeah, but, you know, Trump, you never know with Trump, man. It's a whole new world.
That's the most fucked up thing about him,
too. It's a whole new world,
like,
man.
when that was what I said throughout the entire campaign, bro. Like, everybody was, you know, either for or against him. What I said is that you don't know what he's going to do. He never put forth an actual plan. He spoke in fucking platitudes the entire time.
Yeah, and
you know?
whatever he's gonna do, he's gonna go balls to the wall.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, whatever he's gonna do, dude. So
that's why, I mean, as much as people hate him right now that didn't vote for him or whatever, like, the one thing that I mean, like, and I don't like it because I don't like what the actual things are. But one thing you can't say is that he didn't stick to his word. You know what I mean? As far as the things that he explicitly said he was going to do. You know, with the deportations. You know, and getting preparing the wall. Apparently, they've been starting to get that ready or whatever. The fucking. The meetings with China to try to, you know, although he did renege on you know, downgrading their classification or whatever, or actually accusing them of being a currency manipulator. But a lot of those early, like, the not legit, but like the core promises that he made on the campaign trail, he did enact a good amount of those. You know, I mean, like, again, I don't really like them because I don't like what they actually are. But I do at least respect that he stuck to his word, as fucked up as that word might have been.
yeah,
You know? But so, like you said, I mean, like, but see, that I think that when, like, now with this stuff with Syria that's going on as well, you've got, like, such a weird triangle of things going on because, like, you know, now you want to talk about pushing first. I mean, Syria never fucking bombed us, so that's a push first to me, you know, because they crossed the quote-unquote red line. And then they, you know, now we bombed whatever that airport was or whatever their airfield.
Oh, but Syria's not even worried about hitting us first.
Right. Yeah, and that's what it's a civil
They're not
war.
worried about that.
No, well, I know, but my point is that, like, there was no we weren't provoked into that. We just whatever the
But they, you know, we weren't. But we know we have to retaliate no matter what.
retaliate against what? It wasn't against us.
But world police.
That's fuck that. That's what I'm saying. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I know, but that's why Syria already knows that we're gonna retaliate. That's why they kill their own people. That's why they do whatever the fuck they're gonna do. You know.
So you think that they're doing it in order to fucking get us
reel
to
us
do
in? Part of it, fuck yeah.
it?
Part of it, not all of it.
They're trying to kick the hornet's nest.
Oh fuck, why not? Hell yeah, dude.
Because we'll go fuck them up. That's why not.
Of course we will. But,
That's the point.
you know, it's just steering shit up, bro. It's steering shit up.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna do it to us. They can't do it to us. You know, they're gonna do it to their own fucking people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just thinking about how long that shit's been going on. Like, I don't remember exactly what year it is right now, but it's got to be going back 4 or 5 at this point. I remember when my grandfather died, I was flying up to New York to go to the funeral, and I was still writing for Haddock News on the website at the time when we were still doing print satire, and I wrote an article on the plane about Bashar al-Assad, the president of Syria. Yeah. Back when this conflict was, I mean, it was ongoing at the time. It wasn't even like it had just fucking popped off. This was still an ongoing conflict.
What year was that? 2006?
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember exactly.
Probably
I think it was probably
06.
like 4. No, it was later than that. I mean, this was talking about maybe like 2012 or 13 or something like that. I say it wasn't like super long ago, but it was long. I mean, long enough ago for a civil fucking war. I mean, you know, It's been going on for a long fucking time. And again, that shit was fucking going on even before that incident. Before when I was on the plane. So, like, that was already gone on for at least 4 or 5 years or whatever before that.
Yeah.
I rapped about that shit in my one and only written battle that I've done.
What is it? What was it?
What
was the bar?
Oh, what was the bar? Okay. The bar was. Let me see if I can remember the whole thing. Oh, I was battling this dude Sean Nova, who I knew from Austin's, where I used to host the freestyle open mic. And so Sean Nova and me were boys. I mean, we didn't know each other like super well, but we knew each other from Austin's or whatever, and we would dap and shit. And so the bar was. Oh, and then he wanted to battle me. So the bar was. So when you asked for this battle, I thought it was truly odd. Every time that I rap, you dap me like a freestyle god. So I thought, spoil the child if I spare him the rod. Now I'm killing my own people like Bashar al-Assad. So that was that's going back at least 3 years, right? Something like that, 3 or 4. So
sick.
You know what I mean? So I mean, shit was already going on when that was going on, and that was at least 2 years after my grandfather, I would think. So anyway, my point is this shit has been going on for a long fucking time. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's a good thing or a fucking bad thing or whatever the motherfuck it is that we're going in and intervening. I don't like intervention in any capacity, really. I don't like the Team America World Police mentality that every fucking president seems to have, especially as you talk about, I said Trump kept a couple of his campaign promises when it came to
bombing the shit out of them.
That's the point. He kept his promises on fucking deportations, but then, he fucking campaigned on what a big mistake going into Iraq was and all this shit and military intervention, and then he does the exact same fucking thing. These goddamn politicians are liars, no matter whether they are career politicians or fucking not. But, so I mean, I don't like the interventionalist shit. And then the other thing too that from what I've
bullshit.
heard, and I've heard a whole bunch of analysis that basically has said, we don't know who the opposition to Bashar al-Assad actually is that we're supposed to be supporting. I mean, obviously we want to be supporting the innocent civilians of Syria if we're going to intervene. If we're going to fucking go in there and do military actions or be part of a coalition or whatever the fuck, whatever way we enter that country, we're, in theory at least, should be doing it for the fucking innocent civilians, right? Like
Absolutely.
that should be the core.
Yeah.
However, the people who are waging the war against the government, it's anybody's guess who they actually represent, who they are. You'd think it would just be some, the Syrian local coalition that just decided to rise up against the government. No, they're saying it's fucking ISIS affiliates, offshoot Al Qaeda affiliates or whatever. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so what the like you're trying to dethrone the president, the dictator, whatever you want to call him, and then put in what? And then it becomes what fucking happened to Libya after we killed Gaddafi.
Yep.
Gaddafi got taken out. That country is fucking in turmoil right now.
Yeah, man.
Power vacuum like a motherfucker. So all of this international fucking war shit is just getting crazy. And now I heard that
crazier and crazier.
Yeah, and I heard that World War III is like one of the most searched terms right now. Like more than it ever had been. Like if you look at the chart of like searches for World War III on the internet, on Google or whatever,
right?
It's like phew, shit like skyrocketed.
More than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah.
You believe it?
Oh, yeah.
You think we're gonna get there?
Yeah, we will. There has to be a World War III.
You think so?
Yeah, there has to be.
Do you think that this configuration that we got going on right now might play that
It's
in?
It's stirring it up.
Well, how do you think about Russia and all that?
Russia, sneaky, man.
Yeah.
Sneaky. They
Talk out of both sides of their mouths, yeah.
Oh yeah, they keeping their shit to themselves, and we don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're hugging us and then stabbing us right in the back is how I feel.
Yeah, well, I mean, every time that the power structures shift a little bit in a different part of the world, they shift to pivot against us. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like they have to maintain the face. And I mean, to be fair, I would say that the relations between us and them are quote unquote better. I don't know if better is the right word, but they're at least they're not like
Unless
with
that's what
Obama.
they want us to think.
Right, well, there you go. I mean, but at least with Obama, it was on the surface. Everybody knew that Putin and Obama didn't get along. Whatever they would, they'd sit at the press conferences and fucking cross their arms and look the other way at each other or whatever. But Trump has been fucking on Putin's dick for ever since. Yeah, go ahead.
I will say this: Obama's black.
That is true. He is of mixed ethnicity. Okay,
he's black. He's black.
People don't remember Trump was on that fucking birth certificate shit.
Well,
okay,
he was
so was Pete. All right,
But either way, yeah, I don't think Putin likes black people. How many
you,
black people do you think he crosses on a daily?
That's a good point. You think he was a racist and that was why he felt that way?
Yeah.
You don't think
much.
it had nothing to do with how Obama carried the narrative?
I mean,
You don't think it was a completely a race thing?
I think mainly it was you're American, you're fucking retarded. Oh, now you have a black guy. You guys are really fucking stupid. That's how I felt like Putin was with Obama. But now you got a rich white guy.
Back on top, baby.
Hell yeah.
And his wife came from a country that's 5 minutes from my house.
That's fucking awesome. Let's fucking do it. Done. Like, come on. You know they were gonna be best friends from the get.
But that's what we were just saying before you came back. Like, it's like
Phony.
things. Yeah, well, things are better, quote unquote, between the countries. But they're playing Syria now. The whole thing with North Korea. It's a pivot every time some shit changes.
This is true. But now you have pipelines, and Russia loves pipelines.
What do you mean pipelines? Like the fucking XL pipeline or whatever? Like you talking about like oil pipelines
Yeah, you don't think that shit's gonna happen? That shit's gonna happen. Watch.
between us and Russia?
There you go.
Oh well, for like the Keystone that they were all fucking protesting and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine, but what does that have to do with Russia? That's fucking us and Canada, ain't it?
Oh, no, not that one exactly. I'm saying it's going to go up through Syria and go out to the left. It's going to go into Europe. That means
so you're saying that
Russia's
they're
gonna tap into
protecting
that
interests. Yeah, no, I get that. Fair,
It's
but
all
I mean,
interest.
But right, but I mean, like even if that's the case, they always continue to put that like what Pete said, they shifty. That might be fine and everybody's happy about that. And then think about the whole thing too after the election. Before all this military stuff started, in that little span between the election and this, everybody was on how Russia hacked the elections, Russia fucking swung the thing for Trump or whatever. So I mean, there's obviously like if that's true, I don't even know if that's even true, but
quote unquote a link.
Exactly, tentative at best, but whatever. Yes. But so yeah, who knows if that's even fucking true? But the point is that they
control our fucking elections. That means they can hack whenever the fuck they want.
Well, I mean, that's what they were saying was that they did that for this election. That doesn't necessarily mean that in the future that they would continue to do that or could continue to do that. It would change it. But the point is that it was just a lot of people were throwing that out there, as a thing. So if there's even a kernel of truth to that, then that would be a pivot towards the Trump administration. But then when it comes to Syria, pivot the other fucking way because that's their interest there. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's just they play both sides of the coin a lot of the time.
Well.
And I don't know if pipelines are gonna change how they interact with us. They might still keep that buffer, and we have to deal with this shit for another fucking 50 years.
Yeah, as major world powers, you kind of don't want to mess around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially not at this point with everything kind of happening with ISIS. Nobody wants to be fighting each other. It would be a really bad decision. They would take advantage. Mm-hmm. That's how they work. They look for weak points and then they take advantage. That's how a terrorist group normally works. So, I mean, if
that's how they've been working in fucking France and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Like, yeah, well, bringing a whole bunch of Syrians was a really good idea. I'm not saying that it's a horrible idea. I just think there should be due process. And not just be like, all right, flood the gates. Let them on in. No. We're like, hold the fuck up. You check these people the fuck out. You make sure... Like,
vetting process.
Yeah, like have an actual process. I'm not completely 100% against banning Syria or refugees to the U.S. Like I'm not. It's not a bad thing. What is a bad thing is, okay, this is your name. All right, we'll do a quick check.
Right, well, that's
coming up in our system. All right, you're good.
And that's why Germany is in the situation that they're in right now, because they they did the whole compassionate, open heart situation. It let everybody in, and then lots of shit started popping off in Germany.
Look, yeah, France. I mean,
got France with all of the terrorist attacks. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Like, it is what it is. Like,
Charlie Hebdo was bad,
I mean, there's even like minuscule attacks in the UK and everything when they let them in.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, you just invited a whole bunch of fucking people that you don't fucking know into your house. Why would you ever do that?
And there you go.
Because would you bring a homeless person to your house? No, you would help them from afar, not from inside your house.
You throw breadcrumbs out the window like a civilized person.
Absolutely. No, don't even bring them to your house. They don't need to know where you live. They don't need to know any of this. Like, you help them from afar. You give them maybe a phone number to call. Like, no, you don't fucking just be like, you know what? You're homeless. Come this way. Because I don't see fucking Americans doing that shit. When the fuck all these people saying, "Oh, help Syrians!" Yeah, okay, go to a fucking homeless guy, let him inside of your fucking house.
He could be Syrian. Could be a Syrian homeless guy right here, right now. You know,
guy. Absolutely. Most likely, they're gonna fucking steal your shit. Fucking dude. Go
I mean,
buy
not
drugs.
necessarily, but you don't know is the point, really.
Yeah, like it's a possibility, and it's a huge possibility, and it's not like, oh, there's 200,000 Syrians and only 2 could be terrorists. That's 2 fucking terrorists. What are you talking about? That's not a good thing. You don't want that. So I. But then
where are they supposed that fair? Then, and I understand that argument, and that's a lot of what a lot of people feel about it. But then my question is that for the person who is the average Syrian, just trying to get by person who wants to leave the country. Where do they go?
Do what the UN did to the Israelites. Take a piece of land. You know what? Better yet, Africa, middle of fucking Africa. Put them into a little thing. Force people out of their homes and then send them into little mini concentration camps that we call peace, loving, and authority, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That happened. So this can happen.
Adolf Raymond.
It is what it is. Like, the UN did it once. They can do it again. Is my.
You're saying annex a piece of land, some other country, and let them have that.
Absolutely.
Okay, lovely.
Like, but a piece of like not crazy habited land. Obviously, it's going to probably be a little bit inward, but you set up an infrastructure.
And I mean, if you say in Africa, to be fair, they live in a desert environment. There's lots of desert environment in Africa.
Absolutely,
too.
But you set up an infrastructure. That's how you truly help them.
Mm-hmm.
You create a government.
Yeah.
You create like a way to get water.
Mm-hmm.
You create a farming environment. You do this shit, and then they'll be good. And we don't get attacked, and nobody else is going to get attacked. Because the people that are going to attack, they're going to probably attack themselves. Because realistically, they all hate each other anyways. As I've said
the entire
before.
planet just hates everybody hates themselves, each other. It's just hate.
Yeah.
Planet
like,
hate.
They're just hateful people. And it is what it is. Like, I've been there. I've talked to them. I've been treated like shit many places.
This is true. It's not like Raymond's talking out of his ass. He goes to these places.
Yeah, like, it is what it is. Like, I understand that they hate each other, but they don't have to. They don't have to hate everybody. They can hate each other in a fucking separate country.
Fair enough.
And then weed those people out, and then
hopefully
those
places
moving them back from Syria to that one place, and that's it.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is that if you do have some kind of annexed area for them, at least hopefully it would be people who are the ones that I'm talking about that just want no part of any of this shit. They just want to raise their families and be fucking left alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But the problem is you can't differentiate those people from terrorists. It's impossible.
I mean, you can't. That's any population anywhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you think about like fucking.
How many terrorists have we had here that have been
homegrown and shit?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was gonna say like in Norway, the fucking Anders Breivik, the fucking dude who shot up the youth camp or whatever. He's a Norwegian guy. You know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna weed him out? You know what I mean? There's no absolute safety in any of this,
not.
But
absolutely
you just want to try to separate the extremism from
correct.
Give it to.
But the issue is you don't know who the fuck is who. They're not your people. You can't be like, you know what? I remember that dude from high school. That dude was fucking crazy.
Fair, but I mean, back when the Italians came into this country, you could make the same argument. Although, as I've said before, it wasn't like the Italians were out, doing suicide bombings everywhere left and right when they came in,
If anything, they were killing themselves because who were they fighting? Oh, wait, themselves. So, I mean, again, they were killing themselves. They're not killing themselves. They're killing themselves and other people. That is a huge issue.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Italians were predictable. They were just doing illegal shit. All right, they were doing illegal shit.
Some of the Irish, back when those kind of.
Absolutely. Like, they've all been controlled within themselves.
Mm.
These people are not controlled within themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
I would love to see the remake of West Side Story with the
With
Arab
Arabs?
cast. Yes, you know what I
Oh,
mean.
God,
so,
yeah.
show that. Show me that if that's the case. Because I mean that's a perfect immigration story, right? I
Absolutely.
mean Puerto
How is-
Rican influx and
how would that be?
there you go. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Would it be very angry? Probably. Probably. There'd be a lot of yelling. A lot of yelling. I know, because they yelled at me for everything. I would just stand there taking a picture of myself, and they'd be like, I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, I'm just trying to get a picture of my goddamn self. Like, I'm not even taking a picture of anything else.
All right.
Like, no. They're just angry people.
Yeah.
All right, quick story.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, my brother, we were at a buffet, or whatever. It was our tour group, and we were at this restaurant.
Yeah. What country
Awesome.
are you talking about right now?
We were in Jordan.
Jordan,
to be exact. Like, super cool, whatever. Like, we went, and we were feeding ourselves. It was great. We went to go sit down. We ate and everything, and then we started putting some more stuff on our plate. And another tour group comes in, and when we turn around, they're engulfing us. Like completely
they surrounded you?
Yeah, they surrounded us around the buffet, so we couldn't even fucking get
okay.
out with our plate.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we were like, okay. So I was like, excuse me. And then the guy didn't move. So then my brother's like, sir, excuse me.
Trying to like gesture a little bit, like pardon.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So he like went behind his back because he was sitting there in front of the spaghetti, which we wanted. Mind you, we were eating curry every fucking place, so spaghetti sounded fucking amazing.
Yeah, really.
So
the guy goes all the way to Jordan and eats spaghetti. What a fucking idiot.
yes, like this is now like day, I would say maybe 13 or 12 of eating curry food. This was great.
Uh-huh.
So like he just reaches behind him and starts grabbing it, and the dude turns around and in English says, "Oh, you're rude." My brother's like, yeah, because blocking the food is not rude.
I asked you to move 3 times.
And he was like, oh, you think you're entitled. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? You're sitting in front of the spaghetti. I'm trying to get some food now. And he then proceeded to push him out the way and get his spaghetti. And then I went behind him and got my spaghetti. And when I turned around, guess what? There was a whole bunch of Asian people that I had no idea was fucking behind me. And then I couldn't get out.
They're just parading different groups of people to come fucking stand in front of you.
So, like, the whole time we were eating, dude was just staring at us, like giving us hard looks and just talking in Arabic. And you could tell he was pissed because he kept looking straight at both of our eyes and talking to somebody that was completely off to their left.
Yeah.
And we were definitely off to the right.
Right.
So it was quite apparent this dude was super angry because we didn't have food. We wanted our food.
Yeah.
That we paid for.
Right.
So, like, it was like that everywhere we went. And this was just one story out of maybe 12 stories just in Jordan, which we were only there 4 days. So
What all countries did you do on that trip?
On that trip,
Yeah.
we just went to Israel and Jordan.
Israel and Jordan, okay.
Yeah. So I went and did the whole Jesus walk. We walked Jesus steps. It was great. It was phenomenal.
There was only one set of footprints.
Yes, there was only one set of footprints, even though we were all stepping on it.
Yeah, right. We had to do it in a single file line, stepping 1 foot at a time.
We couldn't disturb the land. That is the way that people live. But either way, like coming back, and it's also racism within Israelites and Jordanians and Palestinians in general, because Israel treats Palestinians like they were Jews in the Nazi war, except they don't kill them. They just treat them like straight shit and then call it a Palestinian Authority.
Okay.
So a modern day concentration
Right,
camp.
yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, fuck the people in the Middle East. Like, I know people want to help them.
Straight up.
But-
make a definitive statement.
Yes, like, people want to help them. And I would love to help them if they wanted to actually be helped themselves. But they don't give a fuck about helping themselves because
I feel
they
like
don't
that's
give a fuck
so
about
much
helping
of
anyone
of the
else.
world, dude. I feel like that's so much of the world. I think definitely the Middle East. I feel like
that's the prime, though.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing about it, is that is the prime.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, in America we have racism towards black people. I get it. Like, I've seen it. I'm Hispanic myself, so I get it. Like, there's nothing like fucking living in the Middle East, bro. Everybody just hates each other. There was no such thing as racism. It just, everybody hates each other. Except for Israelites. Israelites like Israelites. They just hate everybody else. And I can see why, but you still got to treat them like they're shit. So that is a huge issue with me.
Apparently so. You definitely your trip over there definitely made you passionate about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I mean, everywhere I go, I learn something new.
You sound like me with the amount of hatred that you feel just for the hatred.
Yes, and I'm not even a hateful person. I love everyone. I will suck any guys. I mean, I would love to just hang out with these people. Like, I love people in general. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian.
Right, of course.
Like, you've seen my collective friends.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
No one person is the same.
Yeah, of course.
But what the fuck, Middle East? Get your shit together. Just anything. Just any piece of your heart.
And like people think that this is like, just a modern thing, or like even just to when Israel was founded, like that was when this big catalyst for the way that shit is it now like started. This shit has been going on for fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, like,
absolutely,
you know what I mean? This is not
thousands.
Yeah,
let's be realistic, because
our
in
grandparents
the Bible,
lived and died, throughout the whatever 12th wave of this shit. You know what I mean?
Like, even
we will live and die through this conflict, and it will be still going on when we're gone.
The Bible, the Quran,
yeah.
Like all these things are, they're all about peace, but they don't realize that everything is the fucking same. Just treat everybody fucking equally, and you'll be fucking fine. Like, it's not that fucking hard of a concept. But hey, your religion says this one specific tiny little thing, so I fucking hate you. Whoa, that's fucking crazy, because like our religions are identical, but that's fucking cool, bro.
I just need a reason to hate you.
Yeah,
I just need a reason.
You're
I
right.
want to hate.
I don't like fucking goats. I'm sorry. Now I hate you for fucking goats. And like, who gives a shit, man? Like, nobody.
Can't we all just fuck goats together?
Listen, I want to buy a goat, and it's not because I want to fuck it. It's just because I want a goat. Okay.
I just want a cute pet goat.
They're fucking cute.
Little girls get rabbits. You don't think they want to fuck them, do you?
Oh, God.
All right, we're wrapping up here. Let's do final thoughts here after this long. We fucking took a whole long political. That basically took up the whole second half of everything. So I know Pete had some other. Say, dude, Pete, do me a favor. Make a note of it in your phone for whatever the other stuff that you want to talk about. We'll get to it next time. Okay. Anyway, so Ray, do you have anything that you want to end with?
Just love everyone. Just fucking love everyone. There's no reason to hate anybody. Like, even if they do you wrong, who gives a flying fuck? Because realistically, they don't. Either way, be happy.
Cool. I want to end with just hate everyone. You're going to hate everyone anyway. Just hate the fuck out of them. They're not going to like you. You're not going to like them. Who's going to give a fuck in the end anyway, right? None of us get out alive. Pete, you got anything to say?
America.
Fuck yeah.
You are your own security.
Oh, right. I know Pete wanted to talk about the Second Amendment and arming yourself. We'll get to that next time, definitely.
Your own security.
That's an issue that's not going away. So you'll
no,
be.
It's not. But I'm just saying. Long story short, before I leave, just you are your own security. Secure yourself.
In the words,
stay aware.
My hero Jay Dilla, clap on, clap off. Never take your motherfucking strap off. Keep the safety on, but don't take it off.
Unless you live in Chicago or New York. You do not want to carry that. Make sure you have the legal permits, and make sure you have the correct amount of bullets in your gun, so that way you don't get arrested.
Right.
But either way, still own that shit.
Fair. All right. We'll come back to that subject on the next one. This is 360 NOPOD, Thinker St. James, Pete, and Raymond. We will be with you next time. Peace out.
See ya.